All right, let's talk about finding a great dog trainer right here in Westminster, Maryland. If you've got a dog, you know they make life better. We're going to break down how to find the right person to help you and your pup really enjoy our town together.
You know, whether you're just trying to walk down Main Street, maybe hit the farmer's market, or explore a local trail, having a well-behaved dog makes everything so much easier and more fun. Good training really is the key to all that.
So how do we find that trainer? We're going to walk through it in 6 pretty simple steps. We'll look at what makes a good professional, how to pick one for your specific dog, what it costs, some local rules you should know, and then wrap up with the exact questions to ask before you hire anybody.
First off, let's talk about why training here is a little unique. This isn't just some generic guide. It's really tailored for day-to-day life with a dog in Carroll County, from our own neighborhoods to our parks.
So, where do you even start looking? Well, before you even type dog trainer into a search bar, there are 2 key things to look for that are a huge sign of a quality professional. Getting these down will really help narrow your search from the get-go. The first, and honestly the biggest one, is their training method. Modern, effective training is all about positive reinforcement. All that means is they focus on rewarding the behavior you want to see, using things like treats or praise. This approach just plain works, and it also builds your dog's confidence and makes your relationship stronger. You want a trainer who encourages, not one who intimidates.
Now here's something you might not know. Maryland doesn't actually require dog trainers to have a license. That's why professional certifications are such a big deal. They show that a trainer has put in the work. They've studied, passed exams, and they follow a code of ethics. Seeing letters like KPA or CPDTKA after a trainer's name is a really good sign.
Okay, so let's say you found a couple of trainers who use positive methods and have some credentials. How do you pick the right one? Well, the next step is all about you and your dog's specific needs and goals.
Just take a second and think. What are you trying to accomplish? Are you starting from scratch with a new puppy that needs help with, well, everything? Or maybe you've got an adult dog who pulls like crazy on the leash. It could even be something more complex, like being scared of new people. Knowing your main goal is key. And what you wanted to achieve often points you to the right type of class. For instance, private lessons at your home are perfect for things that happen at home, like jumping on guests. But group classes are fantastic for practicing skills like stay when there are other dogs and people around to act as distractions.
Now that you have an idea of the kind of training you might need, let's get into the practical side of things. Specifically, what can you expect to pay, and what are the different kinds of services offered around here? This chart gives you a pretty good ballpark for local costs for 2025. A group class that runs for a few weeks might be a couple $100. A single private lesson usually falls somewhere between $100 and $175. The more intensive options cost more, of course, but this helps you set a realistic budget. And those costs line up with different kinds of services. You've got your standard group classes and one-on-one private lessons. Then there are puppy packages, which are great for that critical early learning stage. And for more hands-on help, some trainers offer day training or even board and train programs where your dog stays with them.
Okay, so you know the methods, the costs, and the formats. But how do you actually apply all this training right here in Westminster? This is where it all comes together. Knowing the local rules and the best spots to practice.
This is the big one for our city. Unless you're inside a designated dog park, your dog needs to be on a leash. It's as simple as that. And this is exactly why a skill like loose leash walking is so practical. It's essential to enjoying our town's public spaces with your dog.
So where can you go to work on these skills? Wakefield Valley Park has some great leashed trails. The sidewalks on Main Street are perfect for practicing focus around some light city distractions. And for that important off-leash recall practice, a spot like Bennett Surf Dog Park is your best bet.
And this brings us to the final and maybe the most important step. You've done the research, you know what you want, you have a few names. Now it's time to ask the right questions so you can feel really confident in your decision.
That first phone call or email is your chance to make sure everything lines up. Having a few key questions ready to go will tell you if their style is a good fit and helps make sure there are no surprises later on. Here's your checklist. You'll want to ask them to describe their training approach. Ask about their certifications. A really great question is, how will you customize the plan for my dog specifically? Also ask how progress is measured. Get a clear breakdown of all the costs, and if you're dealing with a tougher behavior issue, check if they work with your veterinarian. At the end of the day, putting in this effort really pays off. A well-trained dog is a happy dog, a joy to have at home, a welcome neighbor, and the perfect partner for getting out and exploring everything our county has to offer. Happy training!